The average human attention span is 19 minutes. You know that?
Well, I think we went over last time.
Yeah, we did.
All right.
What I was wondering, though, is that, if we didn't have the show last week, we lose all these people that were following us, they go to other places or what?
No, I mean, there's nothing else. There's nothing else.
There is nothing else. Good.
You can't go to those bookworms at the other place,
Oh,
Nothing against those guys.
Sorry, man.
Nothing against those guys.
Bookworm. Wow, that's mean, man.
I can still touch the rim at 40. Come on.
I'm telling you, the bookworm, we don't get them a 2-on-2, man. That would be pitiful.
Yeah.
That's funny. This guy, if you're not careful, it just becomes...
I can barely touch the rim, but I can still touch the rim. So.
I get on that net like a motherfucker. Okay.
It's the internet.
It is. Hey, but so in other words, they're watching this or what? Last week nobody said, "Hey, what are y'all doing? Where's everybody?"
Yeah, no, people did. Yeah,
was
I'm
anybody
sorry.
mean?
Yeah. No, not too
okay,
bad.
good. I mean, gosh, because I have low self-esteem as it is. All right, let's talk about 5A Division I. Nixon and Lopez. Boy, I'm ready to go off on Nixon like there's no tomorrow.
They love me.
Indeed, they do. They hate me, but they're going to like me after I tell them about. Oh, let's see. You know what Nixon's problem was? They always got our best team.
Mm-hmm.
All right, 97 Harlingen, 98 they ran to somebody Rio, and that magical season with Abel. Then they played McAllen in 2000, and they played PSJ North in 2003. We weren't going to beat them. They played the Bears in 2005. So every year they got good, we had something for them.
Yeah.
01 to 05, that was a great team. They won 10 3 or 4 times. Nixon's been good. Jorge Lopez was the coach then, and then David Sanchez from United. He used to be at Lopez Nixon way back in the day. So now last year they made their first playoff appearance in 8 years. And here they're in against another Johnny-come-lately, Lopez. And when the last time that made it was, I kind of gave you the home of the cheat sheet.
Yeah, I got it right
Let's do like this. Look, 2006, of course.
Let's just look at this right now. Wait, what year is it?
What?
What year
06.
06. I was going to say 07.
No, that's all
I
Nixon.
saw 1964 for Nixon.
That's when they started back in 64. Lopez, of course. I'll still remember the time they upset Sharyland in 2002 in my district. They had one of those basketball players, a great receiver. Anyway, Lopez is in. They beat Pace, but they didn't exactly back in. They won to get in against a hot team. But do they have what it takes to stay with Nixon? Good golly, man.
Yeah, it's going to be really tough. And we're going to get to Sharyland right now when we talk about
Are they talking? Is Sharyland already talking? Come on.
We're going to talk about Mercedes as well.
The Mid-Valley.
I mean, Mid-Valley's going crazy already. But... what Lopez did. I mean, we were talking earlier that Starkey could have been up for Coach of the Year.
Still is to me.
Yeah, and I mean,
win this game, you good.
Yeah, and it's really gonna Nixon. It's not like they didn't lose to somebody that they shouldn't have. They lost to Rio, and Rio.
They just played a great game. 5 turnovers second half.
And Nixon just didn't have the same game. But I saw them play against Sharyland, and if Lopez is going to beat them, I mean, you're going to have to do it on the defensive and the offensive end, and. You're going to have to hope that Nixon doesn't really have their A game that day.
Neither one is what you call playoff test. Of course, Nixon was 5 and 6. They were in last year. Lopez is a new animal altogether. But Nixon, quite frankly, has been one of the best teams in the region. Mm-hmm. They've proven it. They have a great running game. They're rugged defense. They get the ball and they just grind you into the dust like a cigarette butt. So let's see how much the Lopez buzz lasts, all right? Because they are on a high, man. They're doing good. That's the first time they made it in 10 years. Yeehaw,
Mm-hmm.
But they got to come to play or they could get beat pretty bad.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they will, but they could get beat pretty bad because this team has whooped everybody, man, except Rio.
Yeah, except for Rio.
Yep.
And you think about it, too, the points they put up against, like, Mission Vets.
71.
Yeah.
That was a highway up in Austin, 71.
Yeah. So it's going to be tough. It's going to be a tough matchup for Lopez.
Yeah, it really is. But you know what, man? Hey, we had Nixon's number for so many years. Unfortunately, that's maybe one of the reasons why they're going to whomp on us because they have those games I listed. Mm-hmm. I think the last time they were in 07, Donna beat them.
Yeah.
All right. So I mean, they owe us. In fact, this year has been payback for Nixon. All right, look, already you're taking a pound of flesh. Lay off already.
And I will tell you this: I've talked to a bunch of coaches in the 31 6A.
Yeah.
They think their district
31 5A
or 31 5A. Excuse me. They think their district is way better than 32, and they think that that they've got their teams are way better.
Talking about Edcouch, man. You better not do that.
Yeah,
man.
I know. But we're gonna get to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Nixon and Lopez is good. I think Nixon's a 10 or 12 at least point favorite. Lopez did have to do some sucking and jiving to get in, but they're here.
Yeah.
And that means a ton. I like the quote that Coach Starkey had in the paper the other day. He was talking about, it proves that you can be successful at Lopez Early College School. They are successful in the classroom. They have a pride in the things that they do. And now they brought the football team up to that level. And so I'm very happy for them.
Yeah.
But don't rest on your laurels, because any team that scores 71 against Vets, man, they can score 71 on you.
Yeah.
All right. Echeverria is the name of the day. He's going to have to kick about 26 field goals. Let's talk about veterans and veterans.
Yeah.
Like Jones and Jones, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, this is an interesting matchup. Okay. Albeit for the fact that both of them are named Vets, but the offense, it's going to come down to, well, really, it's not going to come down to offense. It's going to come down to defense.
Right.
Can Brownsville Vets defense
contain
Yeah.
Gilpin and Spider-Man, and well, it
Yeah.
depends on who
you
plays.
got Jacob, you got Gilpin.
How are the backs?
Yeah.
That's what I want to know, because one of the things that opens up the stretch vertical game is throwing to them backs.
Yes.
They West Coasted to death of them little guys, and they'll run for 50 yards. Man. Buddha, if he does play, that's bad for veterans down there.
Yeah, and I think what Mission Vets has to do is what they did against Rio. Rio took away the long pass, and so Mission Vets went to a little right here, flats,
16
flats.
catches, yeah.
If you do that, you're going to open up because they're going to have to come up, and you're going to open up something long eventually.
I like the Chargers defense, man. Tabarez, 52's got 7 sacks. Alamazan, that guy I told you about, number 6. There's a bunch of guys who can play. Who's this other guy, man? I gave you. Oh, Roberto Ramon, 43. He's come on in the second half of the season at linebacker. He's making a ton of tackles. Of course, Brandon Martinez, to me, is an all-valley candidate, number 20. They got the defense that can do it, man. And here's what else they got. This Abel Martinez, I'm telling you, a little 21, his first carry of the game should put him over 1,000 yards. You know why?
What's that?
Because he's got 993 and he averages 10 yards per carry. That dude is good, man. And he's so good, 1, because he's good, 2, because Gustavo the Great is going to be crunching people like King Kong with wheels, man. That dude, he did it again. He hurdled some guy the other day, man. No, that team is very good. It's 8-2. It's playing at home. How does Mission Vets win when, if you look at their schedule, I mean, here we got highlighted here, not to be ugly, because, I'm a Gilpin rooter, man, but you haven't really, when it's quality wins, it's only fair. You know what I mean? They don't have no big signature wins against great teams. So
Sharyland would be the one.
Who won that game?
Yeah.
42-28. So, I mean, they didn't beat Nixon.
Yeah.
And they didn't beat Pioneer, right? So, this is not Vets' greatest team, but you know what it has going for it? They have some playmakers.
Yeah, you got to remember what they did in the playoffs last year.
Yeah. And look, if Vets playmakers make plays, they'll beat the Chargers, okay? If all those guys play well, if Diego gets one of them 400-yard games, you can cancel out the Chargers, man. So what I'm saying is that I think that if they played 10 times, the Chargers will win 6. But if they get one of those 4, and see, Gilpin is great at dialing up the magic, and they may come out and they may pulverize the Vets. Here's, again, a pace game. If you get out to a 21-7 lead, man, you can't catch those Patriots, man. I'm telling you. So this is a pace game. I think the Chargers are probably more consistent on both sides of the ball, but you can never bet against a team with that many good athletes, man.
Yeah.
That's why it's a great game.
Yeah. All right. So
Area around Nixon and Lopez get El Paso win or Carroll, please. Win's 8-2, but we can win. We can win.
Yeah.
Third round, Dripping Springs 91.
Yeah.
Well, the Vets winner gets Flower Bluff or Southside. Both are 5-5. But every time I see that name Flower Bluff, I'm like, hold up.
Yeah.
Hold up.
You can't look at the record.
Hold up. I make that mistake every year. And I say, they're not that good. We're going to beat them. We get our butts beat 40-10. So, but it looks nice until you get to Richmond Foster, who has a chance to win the state.
Yeah.
So, let's not worry about them second and third round games, because we got great playoff games to come. Vets and Vets is amazing. All right. 2A, Sharyland and Mercedes.
I was there last year. We did this one.
That's right. That was when everybody was fighting and clawing and crazy. The fans from Mercedes were going bananas. Remember that game? Who's going to win? Sharyland's on a roll. I remember saying, I don't want to call up the video, but I told you. I knew it. Because it's still a good football team, and it's like Harlingen. You can't cancel out them great old programs until they do it themselves, man. So they're 7-3. Here they are.
Yeah, Mercedes came over last year as the favorites. Playing Sharyland.
They were tough, great team.
Sharyland comes out and they really took it to Mercedes.
Yeah.
Smacked them in the mouth early, and then just kind of kept that pressure on. And Mercedes never came. It's the Adame Bowl 2.
Adame Bowl 2. Let's see if Mercedes is a little bit cleaner this time in terms of penalties and mistakes, because they could have won that game. I think they were probably as good as Sharyland, if not better. And they may be as good as them or better now. It's just executing football.
Mercedes, you have to remember, Mercedes has not really broken through that first round jinx. They lost to Roma. They lost to Sharyland.
Right.
Will it happen again? And that's the question, too, because, I wonder, because Sharyland's got some speed. They've got speed. Other than Blake Klein, they've got guys that can make plays too. So it's not just Blake Klein. And Blake Klein is incredible. The catches he makes too.
Edgar Alaniz, Blake Klein, this other dude, man. Check out Miguel Pena's numbers. He's 19.3 per catch. He's that third Beatle, man. I mean, that guy's tough too. They even got some running backs that are doing well. Defensively, that little sophomore, man, Javo Lopez, up to 102 tackles. No, Sharyland's a good football team. 7-3. I expect them to go over to Mercedes and make a good account of themselves because these kids have been there before. But so have the Tigers. Of course, the only thing is that the Tigers have a bunch of juniors too. Are they like Sam Benito?
Are they too young to be successful?
I don't think so because I think they have their offensive situation figured out. I think the defense is solidified. And so that, to me, if you told me that was the game of the week in the playoffs, I would not disagree. And it better be because I think that what happens next is Cal Allen. So this is the Super Bowl. I'm not saying that one of those two teams won't win, but this is a very good Cal Allen team. And we know how Cal Allen has treated us in the past. Maybe they'll get lost on the way to that second round game. There's such thing as a forfeit. All right. So last year at this time we were talking about, Pioneer didn't make it. Here they are. Outstanding season. What do they do to keep it going against Edcouch at Donna? That's a crazy game. Yeah. I love it. I want to see that game.
And here's the kicker in this whole thing.
Maybe it is the kicker. Go ahead,
I mean, really.
3-point game.
Edcouch-Elsa. I mean, not the season that I think a lot of us expected. I mean, losing to Brownsville Vets, losing to Mercedes the way they did.
Up and down.
Yeah.
But beating Vela.
Yeah. Beat Vela the second game of the year.
Up and down.
So, I wonder, and this is just me thinking.
Yeah, not bad.
Pioneer. I mean, can they keep this hot offense that they've been able to muster this year? I mean, they've really put it together. And the defense in the second half of games, Bocanego's defense has been playing very well.
Taking the ball, speed and space. In the past, they would not be physical enough to handle Edcouch, but Edcouch is not that big this year. Here's the thing. If Edcouch plays to its potential, it can win this game. It can score 40 points on you like that. I mean, Marco Agua, now you're talking about one of the best quarterbacks the last 3 years in the Valley. This kid with the hair, what's his name? A.J. Rodriguez. I love him. He had a huge game.
Great hair.
No, he really does. They've still got the talent to be nasty. But Pioneer's been more consistent all year, man. Yeah. They're 8-2. They've proven themselves. They have arrived. They beat Sharyland all the way down
tougher
the line.
District. It really is a tougher district. From bottom to top, you got more teams.
Yeah, because Rio and Roma didn't make it.
Yeah.
Well, of course, Pace didn't make it either. But other than that, the rest of the team's not so good. So, I mean, I'm willing to buy what the coaches are saying, but it's not drastic. I mean, Mercedes, man, Edcouch, Brownsville, Vets 8-2. So, I mean, I would give you the top to bottom.
But you look, they lost to those teams. So, so they lost to the teams.
I'm going to stick up for 32, man. I'm going to stick up for 32 because I think that Mercedes can beat Sharyland. And I think they're favored at home by a field goal. I think that Edcouch can beat Pioneer. I do not think that they're favored at Donna. I really don't. I think Pioneer has proven itself. And you have to, until such time as they do not play well, you have to make them a favorite against Edcouch because which Edcouch is going to show up?
And I think when you look at this, too, Pioneer hasn't been in the spot. Edcouch-Elsa, Marco Aguinaga, that team right there.
Cardoza.
Look at what they did last year.
Seth, all the kids. They played it, man. They've been there.
Yeah, and there were guys that were there trying to fish and find out. Okay, are they going to be out? Because I like to get that job over there. And what Coach,
Marty Solar,
what he did last year.
He was our Coach of the Year.
Yeah, I mean, he
went from the outhouse to the penthouse. Man, it's supposed to be the other way around.
You beat Somerset. You go in there. You beat Somerset. We're like, huh? They beat Somerset. And then they put up a great showing with against a tough Cedar Park.
Yeah,
that's the game I was at. It was raining. Yeah. They put a good muster in that game. Look, that team, I can see them winning just for the sheer fact that they have the experience when it comes to this.
It worked for Harlingen against Amanito, and that's not the only reason. But when you have experienced kids, when the first funny business happens, they're not like, they're like, I mean, they just go downhill because they've been there. It just takes a little bit of experience, lumps on the head. Edcouch has it, Pioneer does not. But you know what? They got a good team.
Yeah.
If they play to their potential, they'll beat the Jackets because I think they're more sound.
Yeah.
Who is the more dangerous team with potential that could go bananas? Edcouch.
Yeah.
But if you don't think Ale Garcia can go bananas, he's been doing everything lately.
And that team has a chip on their shoulder. I mean, for a team with you sit there and go, they probably have tea at halftime and something like that. they have a chip on their shoulder. They'd like to, and they feel it's almost like they feel disrespected because they haven't been there before.
Well, they got some of that off their back by beating Sharyland convincingly, 28-14. Yep. And now let's see, if they win here, they'll be 9-2. Vela's third year. That's my yardstick because they went 0-10, 5-5, 10-2, 12-1. This year they're 9-1. Pioneer wins a couple of playoff games, and they're right on the money to become one of the best teams in the Valley. Mm-hmm. I repeat, one of the best programs in the Valley. They're already pretty close, but you got to win a playoff game. You can't say you really have arrived as a champ until you win a playoff game. This is a great chance over there at Benny LaPrade Stadium. You know what Benny LaPrade was, don't you? Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was a basketball coach and an assistant coach to Earl Scott. He took down into the state tournament in '62 in basketball.
Wow.
Yes, he did. All right, with Jim Holm, he was a huge guy. No, Holm graduated. All right, let's see. 4A Division I. We'll move on. We'll keep going.
Yeah.
All right. Remember last year when we got to the sub-5As? It was just brutal. We got our butt beat. And I hated it, and it drove me crazy. And now's our chance for redemption.
Hopefully.
Well, who has the best chance? Let's see. You got Raymondville, you got PI, you got Rio Hondo, you got Lyford, La Villa, and St. Joe.
Yeah.
Because we didn't get anyone else
yeah.
to deal with. Okay.
So,
which one of the three teams?
Oh,
wait, no, Lyford and Jourdanton.
Yeah.
We have them too.
Yeah.
Sorry. Oh, man, it's wrong, man. Abel, he
sorry,
made me forget.
But
won the district.
Yeah, out of those you go, La Villa, maybe? You know, but
Sorry.
I mean, look, it was a tough season for them. But, you know, you're looking at this, there's some matchups you're like, oh, man.
La Villa, Furio,
Rio Hondo plays Sinton again, you know.
Cuero and Raymondville.
Yeah.
Cuero's 10-0. They're looking like they have Robert Strait back in their backfield, man. They're a good football team. They're going to go a long way, man.
Yeah.
All right, so Cuero, Raymondville. One of Raymondville's best seasons came back in 1998. They won 10 games. They've done it 3 times. They did it for Leal, they did it for Longoria, and they did it for Jim Height. Remember that guy? Jim Height was at Weslaco, the gray-haired silver riverboat gambler. He was a hell of a fun guy. He always had some quote. Kind of a country guy, but he was smart as a whip. Him and Tommy Roberts used to kind of knock heads, man, in San Benito. Cuero beat him 31-7 that year. If it's 31-7 this year, that'll be a victory. And I hate to say it, but the Bearcats with a sub-500 record going against that really good team, hey, go for it, man. Go for broke. They got some players. Let's see what Capetillo can do.
House money right there.
Yeah, man. I mean, you know, but it's going to be hard, I think. You know. All right. So Rio Hondo gets the rematch against Sinton. They also played in 2009, and Rio Hondo almost beat him. It was a 7-point game. I think you were at that game.
Yeah.
All right. So, here's a quick quiz question of the day. Where did Rocky James start his head coaching career?
You're going to tell me Sinton? No?
No.
Oh, okay.
That would be too cool.
Yeah.
Santa Rosa.
Really?
Yeah, 98, 99.
Oh, okay.
Remember that?
No,
you weren't here. Yeah, well, okay.
Yeah.
Santa Rosa, yeah. And then he tooled on over to Rio Hondo. Here's the thing. We're going to talk about this with Lyford, too. Rio Hondo's had his troubles in the playoffs.
Yeah.
They have not, I think their last playoff win was 2009. Let me look that up here. What did I say?
Yeah, 2009.
No, 11. Lyford?
Oh, win, yeah.
Oh,
Win.
Rio Hondo and Lyford having playoff troubles. Yeah, Rio Hondo beat Lyford in 2011. But they've had some tough draws, man.
Yeah.
And this is one. See, the thing is, Sinton was like in the top 10, and then it lost back-to-back games. Then Cuero beat them 40-0 this year, and then Wharton beat them too. And we're like, what the hell's wrong? Well, they got it back together, and they have some super players. This is his kid's name, Andrew McGowan. He's not quite McGowan from McAllen, but he's got like 1,070. And Rio Hondo remembers him because he torched him. Man, look at these numbers in the first time they played. 10 catches, 207. Ooh. Yeah. And so, what do? Well, Rio Hondo's good. Yeah. They just got to play. Yeah. They can make plays, and they can break plays, too. They lost to Sinton. What was the score the first time? Where is it? 34-14.
Yeah. And the thing, you look at this, too. You can go cover, too. I mean, look, they played them before. You can, you got to figure.
Bang them around, man.
Yeah. And, you can double up McGowan. Double them up. And
the other kid's not as good. Tristan Canales, so make him be the hero. Yeah. Because McGowan is really good, man. He's fast. He's pretty good size. I'll tell you what, the guy that's impressing me lately is this Eric Villarreal for Rio Hondo. I'm looking him up. He had 93 tackles, 5 interceptions. They've got good players. Yeah. Danny Vasquez is going to go over 1,000 probably this week. Bush has got 1,600. He's also got almost 500 rushing. No, Rio Hondo's a good football team. It just got the bad luck of ending up 1 in the positive points against 4 Sinton. It's like, oh, what? Yeah. Or 3, It's like, oh, man. Okay, well, such is life. What about Port Isabel?
Oh,
PI and Sweeney's a killer game,
yeah.
dude. That's it. And for those old-fashioned Tarpon fans, they remember 1983, 13-0. The Tarpons lost, and we'd like to get some revenge against the Sweeney characters. What I don't even know what they're called. Sweeney Bobcats or what? I don't even know. All right, let's go for our Sweeney here. Sweeney is better than 6-4. Okay, PI comes in at 9-1, but if you look at what Sweeney did, they lost to Cuero by 3. They lost to Sinton by 7. This is a good team, man. So here they are. Oh boy, what is PI going to have to do? Can they win this game?
Look, you have a running performance that you did like against St. Joe, La Feria, something like that. You
305 against Orange Grove.
Yeah.
Omar Silva, he got 15. He's the Valley's leading rusher, I believe. Here's the thing. He will throw a pass, and that pass may go for a touchdown, and that pass may determine the game. I'm telling you that right now, because he's a quarterback. He played quarterback for a year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
He stops. He's going to throw. It's wide open. Maybe the quarterback.
Yeah.
Get that guy rolling out and do that old-fashioned play. No, it's going to happen. I almost guarantee it. The pass back. Sweeney Bulldogs, who, by the way, won the state championship in 1966. None of us remember that, but I read it somewhere, so whatever. Good team. PI has been methodical, and they've been breakouts with Omar Silva. I hope that they win. I think that they can, although this is one of those games where don't look at the record, 6-4, because Sweeney's pretty good, man. They're in a league full of, remember last year, that whole group full of teams up there, and they kicked out Yoakum, but we may see them again down the road. They're all pretty good. They're all pretty good, and so we'll just have to see what happens. I was looking at the Sweeney lineup, and they got one kid that's 225 on the front line, okay, a defensive lineman, also the center.
Yeah.
But they got some speed. They're not Navarro, and they're not the teams that PI's had to face in the old days, like Vernia, whom we're going to talk about in a minute. I think it's a winnable game, but then it is Navarro.
Yeah.
Because they're going to beat Poteet like a stepchild, man. That's going to be pitiful. They're going to make them petite. That's pitiful. So it's going to be Navarro. That's one of the top 10 teams in the state. It may go all the way. And so PI, this is a Super Bowl for PI and Sweeney. And I would like to see teams that have played each other in the past. Rio Hondo and Sinton go back a ways. PI and Sweeney. Now, Gruya and Lavernia have never played because Gruya is not but about 20 minutes old. But let me tell you something. This ain't the Lavernia that broke our hearts up in Corpus.
Yeah, it was Corpus, right?
Yeah. That's one of those games that sticks in my craw. You know what else? You know what the other game does? Not because I was rooting for San Benito, but 1993, when San Benito was 9-1 and won the district and best team in the valley, and the Hoyas shut them out. First round of the playoffs, 10-0. Mario Pena's team in those black jerseys, they came out like harpies off the mountain cliff, man. They just took San Benito down. That was a state-ranked team offensively. Had 500 yards a game. I think about like 180. Yeah, that was a crazy game. And the Stevens game, 31-30. Remember how cold it was? We're all like, Nadia was there. Yeah, everybody was there. Everybody was anybody. What game do you remember that sticks in your craw? Because I got about 6 or 8.
I remember
a year.
PLC versus Edcouch, and that was Edcouch had the lead. Yeah,
and they were blowing them. Eric Nino was like, da, 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 and then all of a sudden, a big banana peel, and they beat their butts, man.
Yeah. Artie Tangoon was throwing up before the game, but yet they still had the lead.
I hated that game.
But I remember Harlingen winning at Javelina Stadium once, and I remember getting all muddy because the players were kicking up. I was all muddy over there.
How about the Harlingen? Was it MacArthur?
Oh, the one at
the 4th round game, was it MacArthur? How can I forget?
Madison, wasn't it?
No, not Madison. They lost to Madison the next year when they won 2011. Randy Vermeer. I just looked at that film the other day just for fun. 2, 3, 6, 7. Vermeer, Ledesma, Nathan Prado, and Daniel Martinez. No wonder they were such a great team. Those are 4 of the top 100 players of the past 20 years. I'm like, wow. Anyway, I was tripping. I watched that video.
And now Ledesma's a coach. He's coaching.
That's right, man. Daniel played college football. Hey, but the best one pound for pound was Nathan, man. He just wasn't big enough. He still got a chance somewhere. He walked on, but I mean, if he'd have been 210, he would be playing D1 because he was such a great football player. And then of course, Bermea didn't do nothing but go run track at Cal. So no wonder they won. All right, let's talk this 4A Division 1. Gruya, Lavernia. Lavernia is 2-8. Man, Gruya.
Congrats, by the way.
Hey, where's that list? The Coach of the Year list. Abel Gonzalez, because they beat La Feria. But what did he tell you? The first game of the season, I saw that team and I thought, man, they got some size, they got some speed, they got a good quarterback. I like the program. They won district.
Yeah.
First time ever. Congratulations to the Gators. So now what happens? They get an easy game.
Kind of.
It's easy. You got to kill these. They're horrible. They're horrible. But La Feria gets Rockport Fulton, which is on a roll.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's a step up, man. They're 7-3, and they played some competitive football lately. Man, it's like United. I would like to play Rockport about 5 weeks ago.
Yeah.
But I want to play them now.
Yeah.
So Lyford needs to get up off the mat and dust themselves off and take some swings because, I don't know, man, that was surprising. Let's see. Rockport Fulton lost to Sinton. You know, they played Hidalgo, remember that?
Yeah.
That's so long ago. God, when you start talking about September, I think, what year?
Yeah.
You know, I can tell you more about 1961 than I can 5 minutes ago. It's ridiculous. I think LaFerrier still has a chance to win, even though they're playing on the road. I feel like Gruya will win. They get China Spring, that team that beat LaFerrier last year in the second round. So the Gators got to be happy as clams, though. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I love it, man. That's great. Now for LaFerrier, you just got to continue to prove it. All right, they think they were close, and then Gruya blew them out in the second half, and so they didn't finish and they didn't maintain, and so now the Lions need to get back and see what they got. I still feel like that team will be trouble for Rockport Fulton, although that's a good team. That's a tough game, and look, that's what happens. So sometimes when you don't win it, you get the harder game, and sometimes when you do win it, you get the harder game.
Yeah.
Who knows, man? Because see, it boils down to how good the districts are. So you may get a district champ. But in a weak league, who cares? The second place team or third place team in a better league is way better. Yeah. So there's no rhyme or reason. You just play the game and see what happens. All right, 3A Division II, Lyford against Jourdanton. You ever been to Jourdanton? No. You got to blink, man. If you go right through it. They're decent, but Lyford got the good draw because they finished tied with Santa Gertrudis, whom they beat. Yeah. Santa Gertrudis beat Falfurrious, and that was what we were praying for. So Lyford gets the number 1 seed. And here's the thing, Lyford is in need of a win, okay? Because that team has been 0-8 the last 8 years in the playoffs, and they've been consistent in the playoffs to make it. But this is a year that I think they're not only going to win a playoff game, but I think they're going to make some history. I really feel like they have the squad to do it, and the draw is very favorable. Yeah. Okay, I'll just say that. Interesting.
Yeah.
Look, I gave you some history lessons here, man. They won 1 playoff game in 50 and 52. Corky Crane took them 3 deep in 53. And then 68, 69, and 70, that Lyford team doesn't get any credit, but it was pretty good because to win a playoff game back then, which they did 3 years in a row, means you're beating a champ from upstate. That was a good football team. 91 with the Velas, man. Jay Vela and this other kid, his cousin, they were great players. And then leads us to 04. That's the last time they won. I believe it was West Oso.
Wow.
So they need to win a playoff game. They have enough talent on both sides of the ball to do it. Jourdanton here, they lost to Carrizo, Pleasanton, George West, and then Mathis and Goliad District. God. But those are all good teams.
Yeah, we remember
those are all quality teams, man, who've beaten our teams in the past. If the Bulldogs win, they'll play Marion or Yoakum, and I'm assuming Yoakum, although neither one is that great. So, and then who knows what happens, man. So Lyford just concentrate on this game, carry the Valley standard forward. Our sub-5As have not had the last 2 years, haven't been that great. Let's see it.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Challenge, I'm with you, man. We're all with you.
You know, La Villa, I mean, you made it to the playoffs, but you play Refugio.
Man, I don't even know what to say.
Yeah.
It's, all right, let's not be coy, man. It's tough, but it's represent time, and, man, you get to go out there and see some really great players, and, man, let's see what you can do, because they've got some athletes. Man, they had a tough schedule. They haven't played that well, but hey, I'll tell you this, they're going to take them lightly.
Yeah.
Refugio's going to be like, we got these chumps. Well, let's see if you can't hang something on them, man, because this is the last football game for most of you guys that you'll ever play. You may go out to the Land Sharks, and that's pretty cool, but this is high school football, man, so you need to make that happen.
Yeah.
Why not? Go down and crack somebody's ass. That's what you do. Mm-hmm. Let them know you're in the stadium. And, it may end up being ugly, but play with pride. Yeah. Because you're men, and you represent us. Bottom line. I got them going now. I'm ready. Defense. All right.
He's available for halftime speeches.
I know, right? I'll levitate and jump into the ice bucket. All right, that's the ice bucket challenge.
St. Joe's did what they had to do.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, and they're going to be hosting.
Yes, they will. Saturday at noon, and I'm not going to make promises, but I'm supposed to be down there at the soccer tournament that day. And so I may just sneak by and see old Kai Money because there's nothing like him. Yeah. They've got a chance to do something. And of course, from what I hear, Fort Worth Nolan, my scouts, my prophets tell me, is a pretty good-sized team from Fort Worth. I remember covering Nolan when I was back there at the Star Telegram in the 80s.
Talk about a drive.
I know, really, man. They may fly. Private school, the Vikings. I wore the Vikings in high school, and they're Vikings.
Really?
Yeah. Hail to thee, O loyal alma mater. I don't know what. That's TCU. Forget it. Anyway, St. Joe's good. Bernie DLG, Ricky Minor. They've got a good team, man. Yeah. They proved themselves last week.
Played some good defense.
Yes, they did.
The highlights on that.
And so they toughened up, and because the thing is, they had a tendency maybe to be the flyers, bing, ba, boo. Now they proved they can get their nose dirty and play and not get picked on. These guys are big. I don't know if they're as athletic as St. Joe. They'll probably have more kids. I don't know. Let's just see if the Bloodhounds can do. Because remember last year we kind of thought that maybe they were going to win a playoff game, and they expired early. I know that those guys and that coach and those fan base, they want to continue to move on. All right, they don't want to have every year, and then we got beat. They need to win this game so that they can establish themselves at that next level. Coach Villarreal has said it, and he's stressed it, and I think he knows that this is, they got to do this. Because you don't want to go out in the first round 2 years in a row, because we're talking about Rio Hondo and Lyford and all these teams. You don't want to just get there. You want to win. And this team has the capability of winning, because I'm telling you this, you're not going to get a Kai Money but every once in a generation, if that.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not saying that they need to win for him. Nothing about that. I'm just saying that this team can do it. And so, Nolan, I looked at their record. They're not that great. Yeah, they're pretty big. They're Fort Worth country boys, right? Or big kids from a big city. Let's just run right around and make them look like fools, man. I think at that noontime game, I can get some good pictures, and I may just have to say soccer. That's for December. I can't pass up a football game in the daylight with Kai Money. You got to be kidding me. And I like Vernie too. I like a lot of those guys, man. I like that team. I really enjoy that team.
Hey, one question that I got from the last segment, 6A segment.
Oh yeah.
Before we wrap this up, is that they'd like to know if Justin Corona from Southwest broke the rushing yards on for the PSJ district. I don't know if you know that offhand.
The PSJ district.
There's been a lot of
you mean from the Tri-Cities?
Yeah.
Well, he had more than 1,500, right?
Yeah.
There's a kid named Gilbert Cepeda. Remember him? He didn't have 1,500. There was a kid back in the 80s that was huge, a Beltrán. Let me just get to work on that. That's a great question. He's got to be close. Now, there were some Bears back in the old days. Let's see. It wouldn't be anyone at North, although they had a couple of guys with 1,000. I know PSJ Memorial hasn't had a guy with 1,500. You know what? Who asked that question? Because that guy may be right.
It's actually Simon Corona, so I have to
so, let me get to work on that. But you know what? He may have. He may well have. Put it this way, he's got to be close because, in that district with those teams, you didn't ever get one guy with a ton of yards. You always got 4 guys with 700. I can remember some years that they had some guys who were killers, but let me just figure that out. That's a great one, man. I'll tell you what, that guy has to be an All-Valley candidate.
Yeah.
And speaking of which, the playoffs are beginning. We want to hear from you, man. Tell us who the best players in your town are. Tell us. I'm looking for offensive linemen. It's always the hardest thing for us to find because if I don't get to watch a team, I may be missing some behemoth that's killing everybody inside. So send us. And some years people have done this real well. Others, they haven't. Now's your chance. We got more connections and views than ever. Send us the names of the 4 or 5 guys that you've seen, competitors as well as teammates or whatever, and just let us know who we're in. I need a punter, although, I don't know, Edinburgh's got a few good punters. Yeah. The kickers, I think I've got taken care of, but still, send us some names, man. And send us who you think ought to be Coach of the Year.
And, a couple times I've gotten calls after we've done the show from coaches, and it's too late.
Right, yeah. Hook us up now.
We can't amend it.
I know, right? Whoop, whoop, whoop.
So
like Wayne's World.
Yeah. Let your coaches know. My email is jake@956sports.com. You can email me. Email me that information, because when we want
to know.
Yeah.
We don't want to miss anybody, man. I feel like I know about as much as the next guy in town, probably, but I can always learn more. And so, with that said, man, a heartfelt what's up, everybody. And so we're back. We had a little bit of a hiccup, but that's all right. Hey, who doesn't, man? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right. Jake Berry, Greg Selber, the show, the workout, the warm-up, whatever it is, the playoffs are here, and it doesn't get any better. You got to go to the games and have a blast and drive safely because you just never know. I just finished defensive driving the other day, and now I got my newfound skills, man. I'm like really making this thing happen. All right. Anything else?
Go get a ticket.
Right.
All right. That's it.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Later.